Hello, I'm Dango Rose. Welcome to the Mountaineer Podcast, where everybody's listening. The Mountaineer brings you the latest news of the Peak-to-Peak region, in print, online, through our podcast, social media, and special publications. Now, listen in to the latest news of the area with our local journalists.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jamie Lammers, and welcome to the Mountaineer Podcast. Today, we are introducing a new format for segments for the Mountaineer Podcast and a new member of our podcast team. I'll let him take it from here.
Good morning, Mountaineer listeners. I'm your host, Tyler Hickman. It's been over 2 weeks since the Lakeview Fire turned Netherlands Caribou Village shopping center into a pile of rubble and ash, now sitting behind a chain link fence that runs through the center of the parking lot. In all, nearly 20 storefronts were destroyed, along with the jobs and livelihoods of the folks who owned and worked in these shops every single day. In the past few weeks, owners have been grappling with insurance costs. Non-stop community events and fundraisers for the victims have filled people's calendars and raised more than $400,000 to support owners and employees. While the town picks up these pieces, Nederland reporter Chris Kelly has been checking in with some of the owners to find out what the day of the fire was like and what comes next. John Thompson, known as Mountain Man around town, has already started his next phase. If you're driving along North Bridge Street in Old Town Ned, you'll see a big white sign that says Mountain Man 2.0 outside of the old Kind Castle dispensary. Thompson lost his shop, Mountain Man Outdoor Store, in the fire, but he didn't hesitate to move into the vacant building just up the street. Chris stopped by the new store's home while Mountain Man was moving in and ripping off pieces of tape to hang his new sign. Here's a bit of their conversation.
I was over there and watched the whole thing burn down. And when I got to my store, I was like, I gotta leave. I got in my car and I drove down to Boulder and I was sitting at McDonald's on 28th Street in the corner, slightly crying, just like sitting there sobbing to myself in McDonald's. And then I went up to the Flatirons and I was like, I'm gonna go for a hike. I need to get this out of my head. I need to just do something. And I got out of the car and got 100 feet away from the car and realized I put on shoes and pants and a sweatshirt, but I had no socks, no underwear, and no t-shirt. And that was the point where I just turned. I got out of the car and I'm like, I need to go back up there. I need to deal with this. And on the way back up, I'm like, you know what? Kind Castle's been empty this whole time. I should jump on it now and not lose momentum.
But you said something along the lines of like how you envision that sign, not just as like a beacon to yourself, but like a beacon to the community. Like,
yes,
something is going to come out of this.
I mean, the town's so resilient. I mean, we've been through floods that cut us off from Boulder, and then the fire on the other side of that a bunch of people had to be evacuated from. And then the pandemic, where everything had to shut down for a while. And now this, and it's just, the town keeps on ticking. These people don't stop.
Restarting has been a daunting task for Thompson. When the insurance money came through, he thought about leaving the town for good. But he couldn't turn his back on the community.
I was getting frustrated with trying to restart and wasn't sure what I was going to do. And I was just 3 nights ago, I was in a horrible place and I kept thinking like, oh, this is going nowhere. I'm doing something stupid. And then I stopped and I'm like, you know what? I don't really have to do anything. I could just pack up and leave. And that really helped me thinking for a minute. But then I thought again, I'm like, you know what? Everybody in town has reached out to me. People are hugging me. People are putting money in my hand when I walk by them. They won't let me pay for dinner. I'm not leaving. You know, you got to be here for them as much as they were for me.
Yeah.
Thompson is aiming to open Mountain Man 2.0 at the end of October, Chris Kelly reports. You can find Chris's full story about the town's recovery on our website. If you want to hear more stories like this, Subscribe to The Mountaineer and follow our coverage of the Lakeview Fire and what comes next for the town of Nederland and its residents. Head to themountaineer.com to read more. That's THEMTNEAR.com. That's all for today, and thanks for tuning in. We hope to bring more episodes like this to you in the future, featuring local businesses, organizations, and community voices. So keep an ear out for us. And drop us a line, too, if you think something deserves coverage. Send your thoughts to me, Tyler, at themountaineer.com, or to Jamie Lammers at media@themountaineer.com. We'll see you next time.
And that's it for our show. Subscribe online to get more access to more news, weekly updates to our community calendar, and a link to our YouTube channel by visiting themountaineer.com. Be sure to use the coupon code PODCAST when subscribing for a 10% discount, only available to our listeners. If you are in the local Peak to Peak area, be sure to pick up a print edition of The Mountaineer at a local business. I'm Dango Rose. Thank you for listening.